Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rock and PROFOWON of the Floor Gangs and Knuckleneck Tribe.
And aloha kako. This is JASOUL from Eternal Style Crew and BTR Breakin.
And
What's
you're
good?
watching GEARHDZ, the podcast about hacking, culture, and movement. What's going on, Jay?
Not much, man. It's still hot. It's still hot. Got a couple of typhoons over the past week. So we're getting that humidity, which my skin loves. But no, yeah. Same old here, man. Trying to get back into the swing of things with training again, and it's been good. Yeah, I've been out to the Alchemy Breakin Academy. That's the Battleborn. That's their academy, their school, and yeah, it's been awesome. I trained 3 times this week. Actually, my body feels great.
Oh,
How
wow.
you been?
Good, man. I just basically, yesterday, I had the trades over on the PROFOWON channel. I had my man, B-Boy Kobe, who won the Red Bull BC1 Cypher in Sacramento. So we talked about a little bit of his history. And again, at the PROFOWON channel, I'm going to tend to do more localized stuff. And then here on GEARHDZ, I'm going to talk about more bigger international to national stuff. So you can follow me over there at the PROFOWON channel. So that was pretty good. And besides that, just been training. There's a battle this weekend in Sacramento. I'm going to enter it with the Double Down kids, and the oldest is 17, so I'll be the oldest. I'll be like the guardian.
Nice. I mean, if you guys are going by like age average, if you battle to
we're normal age, right? With my age.
I don't know, my math is not on at 9 o'clock at night, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
You entering with Double Down?
Yeah, the kids.
Down on that, then.
Huh?
I said I would triple down on that.
Triple down. You know what I'm saying? All right. Before we keep moving on, to do some housekeeping. Of course, the first thing we want to give a shout out to the sponsor, Zen World CBD. Jay, what can you tell us about CBD?
I can tell you a lot. See, what I like to do is I like to get one of these things right here. It has a squishy thing at top. I go like this. I let go, and I go like this. Just like that. Yeah. And I put my hands back like this.
All right. Well, as Jay's trying to drink it without his hands, CBD is a non-psychoactive. It's really good for anxiety and inflammation, and especially for a guy like me who just turned 47, who still trains and still gets it in. The biggest factor for me is actually recovery, right? And this is what helps rest and recovery. You could get 15% off if you go to zenworld.com and put in the promo code GEARHDZ. Remember, might as well get a discount off your rest recovery using CBD. All right.
Yes.
Another thing is that 65% of you are watching our content, but the thing is, you're not subscribed. But for those who did subscribe, I want to thank you because, boom, we hit 100 subscribers this week. Woo, woo. Raise the roof. For all you Gen Zs, you don't know about Raise the Roof? This is Raise the Roof. Woo, woo.
I'm going to start 100 push-ups right after this. Yeah.
No, I'm good. It didn't work out today. I'm good.
You're doing it. You're doing it with us.
Nah, man. This is what we're going to do. Help us get to 500. Okay. And maybe 500 will do something. So 500, we get the community tab where we get to post like behind the scenes stuff. We could put pictures, polls. That way it's a little bit more interactive with you guys. So help us get to 500. That's the next goal, 500. But thank you for everyone that's tuned in. And thanks to even last week, we had Logistics on. So shouts out to her too. She did a really good interview. If you want more content like that, so it's not just the lives, right? Right now we're coming pre-recorded. Sometimes we're live, sometimes we're pre-recorded, sometimes we do interviews. Let us know. But the only way you can help us is if you subscribe. No, I'm saying.
And a quick shout out to again Zen World.
Mm-hmm.
You got the new freeze roll-ons. You got this
Oh
yet?
wow. No, what's
Yeah.
that?
Laced up with the new freeze roll-ons. 2,000 milligrams of that good CBD.
Oh shoot.
Lab tested.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the hard to reach places. Boom, topic.
All right. Dope.
Now,
Cool. Before we get into our main topic, what we usually do here, our new thing, is that new segment we call Profo's Pick. Basically, I take something. I've been doing this since the epicenter. Since I've been doing this for 10 years. I always put on people that sometimes don't always get the shine. They might not always make it to the semifinals or finals, so they get lost in the shuffle. So Profo's Pick is about putting people that you don't normally see all the time. But this guy you kind of see, and he's been representing, and there's an event happening really soon out there in Montreal. So that gives you a hint of the Profo's Pick today. And the Profo's Pick is my man, Promo. Let's check him out. Where's the volume? Hold on. Can you hear it? No? Okay. Profo's Pick. There it is. Boom.
In modern dance, but he puts it in breaking contextually, meaning he doesn't do anything corny. And the other thing is, he probably influenced a lot of b-boys and b-girls without them even knowing it. So just give him his roses. Promo from Sweet Technique. Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rock and PROFOWON of Floor Gangs and Knucklehead Tribe, and today's Profo's Pick is all the way from Montreal, Canada, representing Sweet Technique, my man Promo. Now the thing about Promo is that he majored in modern dance.
Shout out to Promo. They're having an event the end of the beginning of September out there in Montreal. Sweet Technique. They're throwing an event, and really dope crew. Shout out to Fleo. Shout out to Vicious. Dope crew from Canada. Mentors are Boogie Brats. They've been all around the world, been doing their thing, and the great thing about this event too is that it's actually sponsored by the big YouTubers, Abba and Preach, big YouTubers on commentary, and Abba and Preach has 1 million subscribers, and they're connected to the dance scene. They're not known as dancers, but they're very big on YouTube. So it's dope and they're from Montreal too. So it's dope that they actually supported the event and put money into it. So shout out to Abba and Preach. I would like to talk to those guys eventually. And yeah, that's the first weekend of September. So that was Profo's Pick. And the thing about Promo too, Promo is basically this crazy guy that adds modern dance to his movement. The thing is, he does it, like I said in the Profo's Pick, he doesn't do it corny. He does it like it's seamless, and it's original but not corny. It's dope. And because modern dancers, they can kind of be corny. I'm sorry guys, that's how I feel.
To pull it off, certain people can do it, right? Cloud's one of them. They can really make it smooth, contextual. Yep. They don't really necessarily use the typical postures and positions of breaking that you see, right? The CCs, the cross steps, or anything like that. They step out of that, and they're still able to make it look good, powerful, effective, and within the battle context as well. Put that on. Let's check his mechanics, if you don't mind.
All right. Going back.
He's not the most represented of Sweet Technique, right?
Yeah, I think the most known is actually for sure Fleu and Vicious. They're the ones that are the most known out of Sweet Technique. Actually, what's funny about Promo is that he was off of social media for a long time. Then I did the Profo's Pick and he started social media again.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty.
Yo, Profo from the Bay, dude. He put you on. He's like,
well, because I think for me, he's a guy that no one sees a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, this guy's. I've heard it when I first went to Montreal back in 2011. People talked about him in Montreal, and I was like, yo, who's this guy? He sounds like he has my name. And I met him and he was like an interesting dude. And then I saw him break and I was like, oh shoot, this stuff is pretty dope actually. And then on top of that, we entered a battle in New York back in 2013. It was me, Heat Rock, and Promo, and we got to the finals. It was fun.
Promo won.
Promo from Sweet Technique. Yeah, this is just like a little sample. This is from his highlight trailer. But when he breaks, it's pretty. He actually hits interesting transitions and positions, good flexibility. He has a smooth stack style, which not a lot of people have. Like most stacks are very rigid and just He's very fluid with his stacks.
Yeah,
and again,
really good.
Yeah, and the other thing is too. It's like again, it's like it flows. That's one thing about his stacks that I really like. And again, both directional as far as power. Windmill both ways, stuff like that. Shout out to Promo, man.
Yeah, he opens his body up, right? Like breaking in general is really flexion dominant. In the front footwork position like this, you can see he has that flexibility and mobility in his back and extension like that. I don't have that personally. I keep things forward myself.
I'm working on it.
It helps with exactly what you're saying, flow. It allows it to be almost balanced in the front and back direction, which you can see him kind of slipping out of things, but he's able to do so in a smooth way to make it look like the move, which is dope. You can really see that Boogie Bratz influence. How you mentioned that he's from that.
Yeah, shout out to Gadget. Gadget's actually a Sweet Technique as well. Gadget's one of the Boogie Brats. He's a Sweet Technique as well. So
see, that's one of the key things of Boogie Bratz is that kind of falling with style, falling into moves, organizing the chaos in that sense. And it's dope, man. That's a true artistry and next level of what we're doing. Anybody can come in pre-contemplated and sets, and then we see people do really good with that. But that right there is the magic within breaking, the ability to do that. And just from that limited clip right there, you could see having that back flexibility. A lot of Boogie Brats, they had that.
For sure. A lot of like that flexible shoulders, limber back.
Yeah.
Me and the Radical Force boys call it jelly. You got jelly back. We call it you got jelly. You're jelly. Well, actually, shout out to Jelly Man, like my man out there. We call him Jelly Man for Radical Force.
It's very rigid, and they're able to make their bodies into bigger positions when they open up their posture like that, right, and extend their back.
Yeah.
As opposed to keeping it forward like that all the time in flexion. It's dope. I think having that balance within your body and your mechanics and your movement is important for longevity. Not only moving smoothly, but the health of your spine.
I agree. I mean, that's why I'm trying to work on that a lot. I used to have it back 20 years ago. Now it's like I'm trying to do it again. It's not easy, but it's possible.
You're onto something, Pro.
Hey man, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's not easy, but we'll talk about that. So yeah, that was Provo's pick, was Promo. So now we're gonna go on our main subject. So 2 episodes ago, last episode we had logistics interview with JASOUL. But 2 episodes ago, we talked about, or was that? Yeah, that was 2 episodes ago. We talked about the 2000s. So of course, obviously, for this episode, our main topic is breaking in the 2010s, the social media era. You know what I mean? The pick me, look at me era, which already B-boys and B-girls already have, but now it's like intensified. The social media era, correction right there. We live, baby, we live. So
so on the fly, I like that.
Yeah, so let's start out. We picked the 3 main things about the 2010s, right? And obviously the biggest thing is social media. So let's start with like, from MySpace. MySpace basically was like the last of the tail end of 2008, right? Even though Facebook, which is what I'm going to bring up right now, Facebook was around maybe 2004, 2005, but it didn't start hitting like, the trajectory as where it went super big was like around 2009. That's how I discovered, Facebook. I first heard of Facebook was actually 2009.
Same. Did you hear about it from a college buddy by chance?
No, girl told me about it.
Was she in college?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then everyone started to like, the next guy was Mikey Disco, and he was like, like, are you on Facebook? And I was like, what's a face? I heard of it. It's like, yeah, you should be on Facebook, man.
Facebook.
Like, and I was like, okay.
Do we stuff our faces in books and read and get smart, or do we socially watch other people? And
so I mean, this is MySpace was the precursor, right? But if we go deeper, it was Friendster. Went from Friendster to MySpace, then it went to Facebook. And unlike MySpace, they could just add you, which is now a thing, right? With Facebook, you got basically, it was you kind of got like invited, or you would ask for a request, and that made it a little bit more exclusive. And I think the other thing that made Facebook interesting was the chat feature. They use it like AOL, early AOL. You could have a window where they could chat with you, and I think that gave it a different thing.
Yeah, that in Facebook groups, right?
Yeah.
Community,
we're looking at,
like,
and then you could put events and stuff like that.
Events, yeah, for all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so that was like the first, like, even though there was MySpace, that was the first, like, all right, this is something, this is something that's different. This is more communicative. Like, we're actually more in touch than before. Do you know what I'm saying? So what's your experience with that? What's your experience with Facebook? First of all, the first part is Facebook. What's your experience with Facebook and Breakin for you, Jay?
Facebook and Breakin, man. When I got Facebook, it was from a girl as well. She was in college. I understand that Facebook was originated, in the college culture to have people connect in college. When I got into it, yeah, it was from a girl, and yeah, it was cool. I could post pictures. I could kind of like keep a photo album. I really like that feature about it, that I could look back and I didn't have to worry about packing it or losing a physical copy of something. I could always access it easily. I like that a lot. Yeah. So it was the iPhone too, right? When the iPhone was, we could have apps and we could access and use, ultimately be connected, right? It's kind of like their model is like, being connected, right? Yeah. That had a big part to do with it as well. But yeah, and this is obviously pre-Instagram, right? We'll get into that, but Facebook, I was traveling a bunch then with Battleborn at the time. We were winning a bunch of qualifiers, and I still had that 90s b-boy mentality where I was getting friend requests from a lot of people. I did not maximize on my my travel experiences and meeting a bunch of people. And with that 90s b-boy mindset is who the hell are you? Decline or just leave, So I know we spoke about that before in the past.
I mean, no, let's go in. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it.
No, that was my experience with Facebook, basically.
Right. Did you post any videos on there? Like,
not so much,
Oh, okay.
Instagram. That was just kind of reposting other people's things, pictures mainly. It was pictures dominant for me, photo dominant. Yeah, that was pretty much it for Facebook with me.
All right. Well, okay, I'm about to game y'all up real quick. So for me, Facebook was the key to the kingdom. So I'm gonna try to make this story short. So the thing about me, when I was coming up in the 2000s, you know, I had the graciousness of judging Kid David's first battle when he was 11 in 2003. Then I judged Nasty Ray's first battle too in 2005. So, you know, at the time, Kid David was 11 and you could kind of see talent. And then, of course, I was hanging out with Machine. I was hanging out with all these other people. And what I learned was like, yo, your network was like, is important, is more important than your skill. That's what I learned. And all I needed was a shot. You know what I mean? Because I was around it. I was around Machine, who was flying all over the place. I was around Kid David, who was flying around. This is mid 2000s. So when Facebook came around, you know, I just got into, I think I joined Facebook February 2009. Or is it 2008? No, 2009. I got into Floor Gangs May 2009. And it was just promote city. Every video, put my YouTube out. Every battle I entered, blah, 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 blah. And then when I joined Floor Gangs and we won Freestyle Session Japan in 2009, that's when the requests came. Everyone from Asia. Added all of them. Talked to all of them on chat. How do you do this? How do you blah, 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 blah. Boom, boom, boom. Talked to Felix. Didn't know who Felix was. Okay, boom. He throws Radical Force. Got to judge Radical Force. Okay, then I did my whole concept was this. All right, well, I'm going to do the Bruce Lee shit. You know, Bruce Lee, when he was in America, it was like, oh, we don't want you. You're Chinese, so whatever. I'm going to make it big in Asia, and then till America knocks on my door. And that's what I did. I basically would stay from 2009 to 2011. I would stay in Asia. I would stay at my aunt's in Philippines, stay there for 2 months, and then tour because I was talking to everyone on Facebook. Tour, go to Indonesia, then go to Singapore, then go to Malaysia, then go to Taiwan, then go to Korea, then go to Japan, go back and forth to the US, then came back here for a month and then did it all over again for 3 years straight. Until finally a promoter from America asked me, hey, how much is going to fly you from Korea? I'm like, Korea? I'm from America. You are? But you're in a Korean crew. I was like, well, yeah, but I live in the US. All right, cool. I get you to judge, blah, blah, blah. So they actually made my name like that.
Wow.
I shook hands and kissed babies all the way through. I just needed, because I saw how everyone else hustled around me. I saw how the hustle was, and I just did it. And that's how I got known.
Nice, man. Wow. Yeah, I definitely took the opposite approach. For sure. Now, you know, with Instagram here, I'm, you know, late to the game. That's me right now. Responding to every comment. You know what I mean? Like yeah. Being trying to engage in everything, trying to reach out to people, trying to comment on people's things. We all see something and we all think, you know, we all have an idea and a thought when we see something, especially when it's captivating and compelling, right? But we never really like tell people that. You know, it could be the b-boy ego, I think. That, and it's just a lot of energy to do. You know, ultimate.
Yeah, it's work. And that's the thing. It's work. You know, I post every day. I don't care. I'm doing it. There's only like one time I didn't post, like in the last year. This year, I've only not posted 3 times.
Wow. And how come? What happened on those 3?
Whatever. I was like tired that day. You know what I mean? Like maybe I was really, really tired and I didn't want to film content, or I didn't post any content. So that's another thing I'm going to bring up too. What changed the game within, we're going to Instagram, but we're talking about Facebook and YouTube, was the autoplay feature. But actually, let's go before that, which was basically the next phase of that was Instagram. So my story with Instagram is that I was like, just like, I'm an old guy, man. I'm like, I like Facebook. Facebook is what it is. You know, like I already did MySpace. I don't want a new social media account. Facebook. And it's funny because the guy that got me on Instagram was Milestone. Milestone actually he made my account for me. He's like, I'm gonna make your account for you. He's like, get on there. This is 2014. We were at a gig. It was like me, Natron, I think Tony Styles, and Finesse. And then it was like, you're not on Instagram? I was like, no, I'm not. And he's like, give me your phone. He actually made an account for me. He forced me into it.
That's
Which
a
is funny.
like peer pressure you need, peer influence.
Well, he knew the importance of it, obviously. And, you know, now looking at Milestone, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of like of the pulse. He knows what's the next thing that's going to be hot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, so that autoplay, like right now, so just imagine this autoplay wasn't around back in 2000, like, you know, 2012. Autoplay, I think, was maybe 2013. I'm making an assumption, so I'm not sure. But I think autoplay started happening in 2013, which changed the face of everything. Because now you could scroll on Facebook, and it's like it'll autoplay. It catches your eye versus clicking on it. So once Instagram, you know, it started with photos, but then once you could start uploading videos, and then this happened. Man, that changed like everything, because you could be just, oh, I'm looking at whatever random. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, who's that? You know what I mean? That autoplay changed everything. So
Well,
what's your
text too, right? That you use it a lot in your posts, man. I know, you know, that's a big thing as well. A lot of people use their phone while they're on the John, while they're in the toilet.
Yeah, yep, for sure. That's 100. That's what you're gonna do.
So what's there's something's next to them and they can't like play the sound. Having the, you know, the text up like that is big time. And yeah, I mean, Instagram kind of took over, right? And Facebook, being the intelligent, you know, powerhouse it is, obviously bought them out, right, for $1 billion or something like that.
Yep. So what's your experience with Instagram?
I got it on a gig as well. You know, I was with a bunch of dancers and they were like, yeah, Instagram, you know, add it. It's fun. You know, check it out. We can post our stage shenanigans and stuff. And it started as that. And then I started to find out that other people had it. And yeah, just kind of went from there. It's, you know, it evolved from my personal into the BTR Breakin, which is, you know, where I put a lot of the attention into now. I am going to put more emphasis and energy back into my personal one. But, you know, with the BTR Breakin and what the powerful thing in relation to our community, our hip hop and breaking community, is it allowed people to establish community and influence and, you know, create tiers and more structure to our culture. Now we have coaches. Now we have people who just do tutorials. You know, people, they post their everyday practice. You're one of them. Your practice sessions, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's creating different roles in a sense within our, here's my personal high state rocker, Hawaii State. GEARHDZ, shout outs. So yeah, I post stuff, you know, about oh, there's me and you training right there. Everybody watching on right there. That's man, I spoke to you for a long time, but this is the first time I experienced your actual training techniques, and I'm a fan, bro. I gotta say, I definitely have a different school of thought from you, coming from Vegas, from a different crew, from Battleborn, and yeah, man, like I'm not open to taking a lot of people's instruction, but I was very open to you on this one, and I'm glad I was, man. I trained in a.
Thank you, man.
You gave me good mindset, aka context to add to actual training. You know what our boy Carl Paoli says is, right, there's practice, there's training, and there's application, right? I know
Yeah.
That brilliant.
He was, that was really dope. When he posted that, I was like, yo.
Yeah, it's
that's it. That's it.
With logistics on the last one, and I'll bring it up again. It's beautiful. Right, practice is where we kind of discover our balance within patterns, within movements, positions. where we create and all that. And that's what we fall in love with. And that's what, boom, shout outs to Carl Paoli,
Yeah.
times bestseller, emotional fitness, performance results. Ooh, wee. I'm a part of his group. He does mentorship Mondays. I recommend anybody and everybody to join that, no matter what you're doing. And we'll put that out in the description as well.
For sure.
But anyway, yeah. So we have practice, which is how we start. We're like, oh, we like moving. It's rebel. It's different. We have this bodily sensation that we've never felt before, aka spinning, right? And we segment it, but it all ultimately leads up to spinning, rotation, revolution. And then there's the training part. And the way I train is very visceral. I know you like that word. I'll use that right here. I'll do a little bit of brain work, and I'll go to practice, and I'll turn the switch on. The majority of my training methods is about turning the switch on. So, boom, whether it's my boy across from me killing around, and I'm like, oh my God, he's killing it right now. I immediately try and shift my mindset. Okay, what am I gonna do? Who cares what is happening right here? And feel, purely visceral, purely just going by feel. What you put me through is being like, okay, hold on, Jay. Cool. Give me 3 patterns, 3 sequences, and let's put them all together. Okay, right here, hold on. Try it one time. Show me what you got. Boom. I put it all out on the palette. Right? You grab a paintbrush. You're like, okay, here, this segment, a little more water. Okay, we need a little more fluidity. Right? Not so much rigid.
Yeah.
Breathe. So I'm gonna do this with like an artist. If
Science, buddy. Science, all math.
hold on, don't breathe hard yet. Okay, now breathe.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got Victor across from you, champion Victor, right? I'm like, oh shit. Okay, he is across from me. Things that I could relate to, real life application stuff that I was implementing within my training. And we did that over Instagram as well.
Yeah. Circle it around, Jake. Circle around. We did it on Instagram.
It was live, right?
Yeah, it was live.
Anyway, you're a master at what you do, man. And I that day I had a new level of respect for, I know you produced some killers in your time.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, shout out to Hijack. He's killing it right now. He's going to IBE this weekend. And he just called me. Like, I was like, okay, I can't answer you, man. I'm doing my show. Don't get away from me.
He's such a humble kid, man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Why I represent. And so what's that? Yeah.
Jack, Ark, the 808 boys.
Yes, sir.
Your method works. Results, results speak.
Yeah, man. Again, and it's crazy for me because, I'm the test subject and I'm coming from the biggest deficit, which is age. You know what I mean? Like, I don't heal as fast and things aren't as limber as when I was younger. So
what does that
this method, huh?
What does that force you to do?
It forces me to approach the techniques differently. I can't just throw myself. I can't just cipher. I can't just go, okay, I'm feeling it. Like, I just can't do that. To me, practicing like feeling it doesn't do anything for me because I've been feeling it for 30 years. What I need to feel is this shoulder get better. Like,
speaking of feeling it, dude, shout outs to Zen CBD. They got the new Freeze line of topical CBD products. Boom, check it out. We got blue, we got green, everything you need. Boom.
There you go.
All
right.
10% off.
Yes,
Feel
sir. Feel it. I'm against feelings. Facts, not feelings. That's where I'm at right now in my life. Facts, not feelings.
You're becoming calculated with your movement.
Yeah. Well, feeling, when we say feelings is, I'm trying to make this short because we can go on forever. There's a difference between emotions and proprioception. Everything at feeling is to the degrees of feeling of music is a degree of proprioception, in my opinion. It's a little bit emotional because the thing is emotion can clear your vision. You won't see objectively with emotion. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
What you're feeling is dopamine from a song and then you're trying to concentrate that dopamine, serotonin into adrenaline, into your movement. But that's not necessarily emotion, because when we talk feelings, we're talking emotion, but it's not necessarily that. Because it's like, the thing is, like, most people be like, oh, I'm mad, I'm going to be better. It's like, no, you're actually more blind. You're actually more, you're not going to complete, your thought is not clear. And this is why someone like Rockstrike, who keeps it cool, always executes. Like 98% of the time when he competes, he's focused in. He doesn't, shit talking doesn't work on him. Nothing, he's focused. He doesn't care. Burns don't work on him.
Yeah, I mean, that works on the big stage, but not so much in the Cypher, right? And even,
I mean, you could be a cold-blooded killer in the Cypher too and not care. You know what I mean? All right, so we talked about Instagram, right? We talked about Instagram.
yeah.
And then obviously in the last few years, the big thing is what kids love. We got TikTok. Boom. Oh shoot, I don't want volume. No volume. No volume on TikTok, please. So TikTok. Now the difference between Instagram and TikTok, because it's like there's not much of a difference, but one of the main differences is like because the algorithm back 4 or 5 years ago changed on Instagram. The original Instagram model was like this, was a lottery style algorithm where if I post it on real time, it'll post. Instagram implemented what Facebook implemented, which was a different algorithm, which like only if you watch this the most, you'll get access to it. So a lot of people were very confused. Some b-boys, I won't say their names, are like, I got this many followers, no one's watching me. It's like, because you don't understand the algorithm, dummy. Like, so he didn't understand why he wasn't getting, you know, I have 10,000 followers, no one wants to listen to me. I'm like, because you're dumb and you don't understand how this works. Sorry. But TikTok is real time. So now all your followers can see it. Versus before, because Facebook was like that too. Because Facebook obviously owns Instagram. And then they transfer that thing.
Is this age specific? You know, the demographic that use. I mean, I dabble with it, but man, I do not for my personal browsing. You know, needs. I don't partake in this.
Oh, I'm not even on it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, I know everyone's like, yo, you'll get way more followers. And it's true because of the lottery style algorithm. Like, I know people on Instagram, like my boy Keen, we talked about Keen before, like he has 300K on Instagram, but on TikTok, he has 3 million. So it's just a different algorithm. But the funny thing is, and Joe Rogan just posted that TikTok is more addictive because of the lottery system. The lottery algorithm is actually more addictive. You know what I'm saying? Because and now what you see in Instagram is what they're doing with the difference between when you posted before. Now I think everything in Instagram's Reels, which is the lottery style algorithm. And why is this important in breaking? Well, because as a B-boy or B-girl, you can get more people to watch your stuff because of the lottery algorithm. So this is where we're talking like episodes before of like, how do you become a backpack kid? You know, like this is the way. TikTok's actually the way.
Yeah.
Faster than Instagram.
And it's important too that B-boys and B-girls understand that. That's one of the main requisites. I mean, I know it's not everyone's goal to be sponsored and to, I don't know, pay their bills off breaking. But if it is your goal, I know like having a social presence and, you know, knowing how to post, being presentable is, you know, one of the main requisites for these corporations like Red Bull. You know, I know that's what they look for. Like
they have a class on it now. If you are an affiliate, they teach you how to use it.
You know what's funny? I sat in on Rockstrike's class when I was in a workshop with them in their series out here under my wings. And he had just went off of social media. He took a break for like some months, like, hey guys, I'm chilling off this.
Yeah, I remember that.
right when he came back, he did a thing on it. It was funny that
Yeah.
of that.
But and this is like when I had the trades on 2 weeks ago, I had L Prod, and he said the same thing. Like, some people don't need it. Someone like a Rockstrike doesn't need it because he already made his name before social media hit big. So with guys like Stripes, like, he doesn't need it. He purposely keeps it secret. Why? Because he's at a certain level. Like, he's already flying to Korea with Sweet Technique to go compete. He already made his name.
Yeah,
So
but
someone like,
I mean, I'm just saying, like, Stripes doesn't seem like the guy that wants to pay his bills and make a living, and neither does.
no, he does. No, he does. That's all he does is break.
Oh, really? He's a sponsored B-boy? He makes money off breaking?
No, he's a hustler. He's a hustler. He's a hustler. He's able to. He's made his name really big in Europe, and like, he's more of like, my skills talk. My stuff is out there on YouTube. People talk about me already. Now I'm gonna shake hands and kiss babies personally and make personal relationships. So most of the gigs that he gets is from his interpersonal relationships with people. Even though he's like kind of an introvert, he's actually very like, yo, what's up? Like, he's actually very organized and business-like. So he's not a social media guy, but he's doing the old formula, which is he kills it. People talk about him, right? So the thing is, in hip hop, what everyone is waiting for is this. This is what I think is toxic, but this is the truth. Every B-boy and B-girl is waiting for a cosign. If that cosign is from Red Bull, if that cosign is I won freestyle session, if that cosign is like, yo, Rockstrike talked about me. That's one thing versus self-promotion. Ooh, the self-promotion. Don't do that. That's not hip-hop. Well, you know what? No one listens to KRS-One no more, so.
I do.
Yeah, but here's the thing. No one's listening to his new song. So KRS-One, this one's for you. He said it's skills, not hype and marketing promotion. At this point, you have to have marketing and promotion. Sorry, KRS-One. It's true.
Did social media and Instagram make it easier for girls to create, again, influence, identity, and to really pave their own path?
Yes.
Talk about girls a little bit.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I forgot what year it was when Ayumi was in the Red Bull BC one. She was the first girl to compete, because back then, so the whole thing, it was like breaking was very genderless, right? When you entered the competition, it didn't matter. Your age didn't matter, and your gender didn't matter. The only time it mattered was in the Bonnie and Clyde, right? Shout out to Ken Swift and Zulu Gremlin when they, but there was an 80s Bonnie and Clyde prior. Frosty Freeze talked about it before, but that was the only time that gender really counted, was the Bonnie and Clyde. Besides that, if you enter a 1-on-1, you enter a 1-on-1. You enter a crew, you enter a crew. It's just, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or girl. Skills talk, right? Skills is the main thing that, that's most important. Within the last 5 years, I think, 5 years to 6 years, there start to be more separated categories, and especially with the B girls. And that's another thing that's happened in the 2010s.
It's really dope. I mean,
yeah.
If I'm thinking back, I think the first B girl I seen represent ultimate femininity in their style, in their movement, while battling, because battling is a pretty aggressive, somewhat male, like, it's pretty male dominant. Everything about it, right? You're up in someone's face. You see females cocking other males and females. You know what I mean? There's no denying the male dominance within it. But we've seen Roxy. That was the first girl I seen. She was taking her time. She was posturing like a female and making it look powerful, making it look stylish, making it look, kind of cool. And from there, I've seen a lot of girls kind of leaning into it, and it's really dope, I think. And it's shifting and changing our cultural identity, and it's balancing it ultimately.
I agree, and trying to pull up the battle right now, which did it. Let me put Shaolin. So the first time I heard about the set, I mean, there was B-girl battles, but I think this is the one that.
Yeah, a lot of B-girls are still breaking, like, you know, they had that rock steady kind of, you know, battle character, and you know, a lot of everything about their delivery was that, and nothing against that. It's really dope. It's a different era, but we did see that in the 2010s as we are moving into, you know, where we are now. Um, yeah, a lot of females are developing their style, which is dope. They're not just trying to participate in a culture; they're trying to evolve, and they're, yeah, like develop style is the main thing about it. You know, that we're seeing right now.
Right. So here's the thing. I'm trying to pull it up. I'm sure I got this ready, but the first time, even though there was been B-girl competitions in Bonnie and Clyde's, the first one to, I think, to start making it popular was the Shaolin Productions B-girl battle. Here you go. Let's see. They did. I'm gonna show the most recent one, but give a shout out to Natty Light of Shaolin Productions. She was the first one to kind of actually highlight a Seven to Smoke B-girl battle, and she's actually, you know, one of the Breaking for Gold and Red Bull representatives right now is Natty Light, and she's big. She was big on, hey, how come there's no, you know, some B-girls at the time were kind of against, like, well, it doesn't matter, like, why are we, you know, don't, you know, we're, you know, why do we have to have separate categories? We should just, you know, break with the guys. Well, Nat felt like, you know, no, we need to highlight it. And then at the same time, you know, Red Bull started their, you know, Ayumi was the first to battle with guys, but then they started the B-girl competition. And with that, there has been an uptick of more B-girls representing. You know what I'm saying? It actually was beneficial for B-girls to feel like they're in a safe space to go to a venue and just, you know, and have a platform to express themselves. You know what I mean?
That's what.
Even though it's generalist, it's still skills talk, you know, more than anything else, right? Like, you know, like Ami's fucking crazy. It doesn't matter if she's a girl or a guy. It doesn't matter. She's dope. But it just gives more comfortability, more of a safe place to, like, okay, I could do it too. And I think that's very important.
Yo, that's the main. That's the term right there. Safe space, safe place, man. Because honestly, I mean, it's not, you know, coming from the 90s into, it's not a very safe place for females, dude. You know, we know what happened a couple of years ago, and a lot of people were coming out and pointing out figures within our scene that were, you know, doing some whack stuff to these females. And I personally met a girl who is an incredible artist and dancer. I took one of her workshops, honestly, and she told me, yeah, she knew I was a b-boy right away, and she pointed it out. And you know, I asked her, like, hey, do you break, or, you know, like, what's your story? She said she used to break, and you know, she went to a battle one time, and
Yo, Jay, you there?
And it made
you cut off a little bit. You cut off a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Say it again.
You froze. No, so I'm talking about this girl that I met. She said she's from the East Coast, and she went to a battle, and this b-boy got gangster on her, and it kind of traumatized her. He was talking shit to her, gesturing at her and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it's not a very safe, it wasn't always a safe place for b-girls, but
Right.
because of Natty Light, and you know, girls coming in and showing the feminine, like, hey, this can be feminine. You don't have to cock your opponent. That's not the only gesture. You can actually represent femininity, and it could look powerful and stylish and really dope, again, within our culture.
Yeah. So even for me, like, shout out to Floristas, shout out to Mylin, shout out to Genesis, shout out to all the other members, Snap. They did an interview with me one time, and this was 2019, and they did an interview with me, and they were like talking about like, so have you ever like, when you're practicing with a B girl, have you ever like hit on her? I was like, is that what people do? I was actually very surprised to hear it, and they're like, yeah, it happens all the time. I was like, ew. And then I was like, ew, like, no offense, but ew, like I take the craft very seriously. You know what I mean? I'm very genderless when I train people. I'm very like, I don't care. Like, you're gonna do the work. And but that's how serious I am. While guys are like, oh look, she's doing a window. You know what I mean? Like all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't care, man. You're whack, you're whack. Like, you're gonna do 20 push-ups, whatever. Like that's what you're doing. And like they were shocked to hear me say that. Then I was like, I go, because I never heard of that. Like, really? Like, guys really hit on you girls? Like, like, ew. Like, that's gross, man. That's desperate as fuck. Like,
I mean, that could be another topic right there.
No, it's not.
We see B-boys and B-girls hooking up all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, it's just like, nah, man, the craft first. That's me. I've always been the craft first, the craft first. I don't care if you're cute, because if you're whack, you're whack. Like that translates to me.
I love what's going on right now. I love how like now we actually have elder B girls in the scene too, right? Influencing smaller B girls. Like, the interview I had with Logistics last week, she was talking about that's what she dabbled with breaking. She was interested, but when she really connected is when she's seen God, I think we gotta mention her name because she influenced Logistics, right? She is Villain's girlfriend.
Yeah, Val Pal.
Yes. She was teaching at Culture Shock, and Logistics seen her teaching, like, wow, this female's actually teaching it. She immediately connected with it and like found her place, and I'm sure it felt safe. And
yeah,
well, that's a big part of craft, of art, right?
Yep.
Is identifying, with somebody who's doing it.
Yeah. So shout out to the B girls out there. You know what I mean? And that was one of the things about the 2010s that, it gave an opportunity because of the categories, not to separate, just to highlight. Because the funny thing is, still in crew battles, it's still open. You know what I mean? If a B girl wants to enter a one-on-one, she can still enter a one-on-one. She can enter the B girl and the regular one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, we see it in 3-on-3s and formats like that for sure.
So it's not to separate, but to highlight.
Yeah.
The last thing that we're going to talk about, and we're going to make this really quick, we're going to talk about the music. Now, the biggest thing, I'm going to show this YouTube thingy.
The last thing to mention is now B-girls can get the gold too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So here's the thing that came with the 2010s is that once Google bought YouTube, and then their monetization was a little bit different, you had to worry about copyright claims. Why? Because the musical artists, they have to make money too. They have to make money. So with YouTube, basically, if you play a song, for instance, if I played a Wu-Tang song, they have to make money. So we're going to have a copyright claim. Like we've had copyright claims right here in GEARHDZ. And the problem is, as we talked about previously with the DVDs, most promoters were making money off of DVDs. Like, what's another way to air the battle? Because now we can live stream. That was another option that, that's new. That was like within the last decade, was live streams. So we talked about how it was DVDs, and then that took about 6 to 8 months to get a DVD. Then we had YouTube, which is like the shortest time at the time was a week, then became the day of. Then the next level of that was obviously live stream. So with YouTube and Instagram doing live streams, they still have to do copyright claims. Why? Because James Brown's family still has to make money off of James Brown. KRS-One or Wu-Tang or Rakim, they still have to make money off the music. But here's the problem. The challenge is the most of the music that we dance to are copyrighted claimed, right? And like, dude, we even put 30 seconds of something like we're copyright claimed on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's why I keep cutting out the music, because it's like I don't want to get copyright, not a strike, but I don't want to get copyright claimed, because eventually we do want to monetize.
So because of this, we B-Boys stepped up now, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they became producers, right? We're talking about that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be the bad guy right now. I think that it's a great effort, but we need better. We need a better solution.
Yeah, we spoke about this in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
The solution is using live bands, right?
Not necessarily. Like, okay, so here's a valiant effort by Fusic from Florida.
Yeah. Valiant
effort from them.
Yeah, shout out to Outbreak, yeah, and Max bringing them out.
Yeah. That was one valiant effort. My thing is, and this is some old guy rant shit. Here we go. I'm gonna be the bad guy right now. The problem with most B-boy DJs, they don't know how to rock clubs. So they don't even know the essence of being a DJ. So they're just break DJs. There's only a few guys. Shout out to Lean Rock, shout out to Flag, shout out to Bless One. They could rock clubs. They could actually do regular parties, not just break parties. That right there is going to give you an essence of how to rock a crowd that's not a B-boy or B-girl. That means have to know all your music.
What about musicians that are making like breaks? Like
most of them are there's no one out there right now, in my opinion. Huh?
Krungbin, Maria Bien. That's one of the doper new tracks. I mean, it's been out, but
by who?
Krungbin. I'm probably saying it wrong, aren't I?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Honestly, the new music's the new electro, which I don't like.
Tripping.
I don't like it.
Old man,
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
The problem is they don't know music theory. They don't know soul. They're using hip hop tracks, but then the hip hop tracks are originally soul tracks. They should be researching soul tracks over hip hop tracks, in my opinion. And they don't. They're we call it pots and pans. The joke is, we're going to listen to pots and pans today? It's like, I guess so. That's the joke.
Do you like Budo's band or what?
But the thing is, they're a cover band.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They're covering, they're covering stuff. It's not necessarily original. Same as Breakcast. They're a cover band. It's not really original.
Is it what I'm saying? Enough to not be copywritten though? Are they doing it?
No, I think they still get. They might have to pay royalties.
I wonder what it is. So is it like 30% needs to be flipped up because?
It might be like sometimes to use a James Brown, you need to pay $30,000 to use a James Brown track, even if it's a cover. Now there's a loophole of if I perform it live, but not on live stream. But if I perform it live, but I don't sell it, that's the loophole. But then usually if you're a cover band and you're highlighting the music, you still have to pay a certain amount if you sell above a certain amount. So that's the whole thing with licensing. There you go. That's the whole thing. You have to pay to use the song, even if you're covering it. Even if it's just like, I'm just performing it. It's not mine, but you still pay.
I like new age. I like 2010 era B-boy turn producer mixtapes.
I hate it.
For training.
I hate it. Sorry. I love you guys, but I'm sorry. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get a copyright claim, but let me show you what I'm talking about, music. This is what I'm talking about. And this is someone from the scene, and you didn't even know he's from the scene. I'm about to game y'all up right now, but we're going to get a copyright claim.
One second.
So this is the Delphonics.
You've been looking for love, and
little sample. Okay.
Like somebody insulted you. You look around like somebody
Yeah.
insulted your lineage, bro. You would not break to that. What are you doing?
No, but this is, dude. So check this out. Shout out to Adrian Young. Adrian Young is actually from the scene. He's not a b-boy. He's a freestyle dancer. But this guy made the soundtrack to Black Dynamite. And he made the soundtrack for Netflix's Marvel show Luke Cage.
Is that a good one?
Oh, well, the show's good, but the music's dope.
Okay.
So it's not the fact that you can break to this. But if I take 2 copies of a record and go back and forth and loop it, like that's what the theory is, I bet you I could find something and then we could battle to it. The thing is, he has the Delphonics. That's a classic soul group from the 60s and 70s, and he actually worked with them. Like just watch Black Dynamite. Listen to that whole soundtrack. He produced that. That's original, but he studies the music. This is how deep he goes. He actually gets the equipment, the recording equipment, and records that way.
Why don't you become a DJ, pro?
I'm good.
Okay. So
I'm shooting out things that no one's talking about. That's what I'm doing.
Closed.
Huh?
I said case closed.
No, the thing is, it's not a case closed because I don't think I think Lean Rock knows about Adrian Young. But how many other DJs know about Adrian Young? How many of them try to study soul music? Because that's what it's not hip hop. If you want b-boy music, it has to be soul music. It has to be from that. You shouldn't be trying to copy the 80s and the 90s. You should be trying to copy that, which is analog. That's the theory. And the thing is, no one's doing, we gotta just do what everyone's. They don't understand, like the approach is make the music with a live band, study Marvin Gaye, study Motown. Motown is the one, like if you want, like, dude, we can listen to Mayer Hawthorne's one song. That's original. Mayer Hawthorne.
Let's get to these battles as well, right?
I'm just saying, man. It's just like if you're talking about like if we're talking about like just keeping it pure and keeping the essence, because it's going far from that. Part of the reason of the soulless b-boy and b-girl is because the music's soulless. Mm-hmm. It's pots and pans. They don't understand music theory. They're just like, okay, this is a dope sample from like from freaking Outkast, and I'm gonna loop this and put like Apache on the background. The Apache drum break.
Profo and soul music is like peas and carrots.
Where's that from?
Oh my god.
Go ahead, break it down.
It's Forrest Gump, dude. Come on.
Oh man. Okay.
You gotta get off that 36 chamber, Shaolin chamber, like 70s kung fu movies. You probably been watching every week, huh?
No, man, I studied a lot about music. That's why. I studied a lot about music. I could trace jazz to like, that's why when we had Grover on, that's why I wanted to talk to him. Because I could trace jazz from ragtime, that became jazz, that became soul, that became funk, that became Afro funk, that became hip disco. The disco is the 4/4 Philly style funk. Did you know that?
You lost me at Afro funk. Fixated, like, didn't it all come from Afro? Was it all Afro drum like syncopated?
Yeah, but there's a certain funk that Philly had, which was the 4/4 was this, and that became disco. But that was from Philly.
So one of our posts, we're gonna do soul Profo's pick top 5 picks of soul artists and music.
Oh, don't get me started with that. Eddie Kendricks, David Ruffin, Delphonics, Stylistics.
You still didn't. You didn't.
Isley Brothers, man, let's go.
You still didn't do a post on your 5 top.
I haven't.
Hip hop artists. Or
true. You're right, man. You're right. Then we're gonna go jazz. We're gonna talk about Ramsey Lewis. We're gonna talk about Dave Brubeck. We're gonna talk about, you know what I mean? We go deep, bro. We go deep. For all you Gen Zs, just watching TikTok, motherfuckers.
Bro's getting hype right now.
Oh yeah. Do your research, kids. You wonder why you're not winning these battles.
Speaking of battles, are we watching one or is this it? Cause
Yeah, man. Let's watch this battle. We're gonna watch the Yak version since we're talking about the 2010s. R16. 10 years ago. 2012. We got the Massive Monkeys versus Jinjo. 93 million views. And we're gonna go be critical about them right now.
shout outs to Yak, man.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
They, CNN, shout out to CNN, they bought them. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh. What do you think of that floor, bro? It's stickier now.
It's pretty dope. On the left, we got Jinjo. On the right, we got Massive Monkeys from Seattle.
Yo, this is like Thesis fresh in their crew too, huh?
What's that?
This is like Thesis fresh in Massive Monkeys too, yeah?
I didn't hear you say it one more time. Sorry.
Hello?
All right. Say that again one more time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said this is when Thesis was kind of fresh in their crew too, yeah?
Yeah. Because originally Knucklehead's Cali, you know. Then, because he was back and forth from Arizona and Seattle. So, being in Seattle, you know.
Yeah, he added that young, long-ass Thesis round.
Yeah, I think he was like one of the first, B-boys to really implement like long rounds with, 10 million moves in it. Jinjo, Korea.
This feed? It is not FE?
Yeah, FE.
Long scripted structured rounds where you're gonna see right from Virgo as opposed to a little
We
bit.
got Tim the Pit.
Slowing it down, the tempo, speeching. That's what we're gonna see when it's like a contrast of styles, right?
Oh yeah, for
We have
sure.
Breakin versus, this is
Like, Massive is influenced by Boss Crew, DVS, which is Fever One.
Yep.
And then Massive, so it's like, definitely like influenced by Fever, who is a student of ICIs of the New York City Breakers.
Dad, you know Boss Crew, huh?
Oh yeah.
Shout outs to CEO Joe, Boss Crew, Red Eye Jedi
Yeah.
is one of the homies.
Yeah. Here's the crazy part. Beast Mode in Orlando learned from a guy from Boss Crew.
How'd that connect? Like, was he living
The Navy, military.
Beast Mode is military?
No. Jacksonville, Orlando, they all have, Jacksonville is a military base.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of Filipinos from the Bay and wherever used to go to Florida. Jinjo.
So again, a lot. These guys have so many frames per, like per sequence that they're doing, right? Highly developed. But the contrast that we want to pay attention to right here, with the more American, the more traditional style you've seen, Wing's gonna blow it up, of course.
Yeah, Wing is like that dude, man. In my opinion, good composition. I kind of don't like the the anime face style of breaking.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling it.
but I mean, look at the levels he's hitting.
Well, not Wing. Wing's not that. You know what I'm saying? Wing is actually the specimen. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the outlier.
Face, yeah. It's almost like this Massive style. It's so much more basic than what's happening on the left that it reads more. It reads more.
I would say Massive is like, basically good showmanship, good stage presence. They use that character, that presence more than like maybe little intricate details, you know.
Yeah, the
Got
interesting
twigs.
style, it's easy to kind of get mashed and muddled up. When you're throwing less frames, it's easier to improv within it, and also presents more solid positions and postures and structures.
Yeah.
Right? And again, you know, you already listed their influences, right?
Yeah.
They have traditional, the fathers of their style, Fever, you know, Boss Crew. You said even Frosty Freeze, right?
Well, yeah, because Fever always was like, you know, was always with Freeze. You know what I mean? Fever did his homework. He lived in New York for a while. Came back. Still has a big influence on Massive. So
You know, their routine exchange is going to be dope in this. I already know. Massive. They were one of the first to do like just
yeah,
layer.
long routines. You know,
Yeah.
they were the first to really outside of Rocksteady to implement commandos.
Well, Fever's Rocksteady too, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah,
but what Ground Zero was doing dope like partner routines, and they
yeah,
were as well, right?
yeah. My man Jerome.
Super early on, yeah. Boom, one of the best.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the best. You know,
From
and
wrestling, bro. From wrestling.
shout outs to the '90s, man. WWF, WWE, man. I definitely seen that in the schoolyard. Like growing up, there was no MMA, there was no jiu-jitsu that was called jiu-jitsu then. All the fight moves in the schoolyard was WWF, WWE, man.
Yeah.
Boom.
Vero. All right, let's watch one more round from Massive, and then we'll.
Well, we gotta get Daddy Massive up, aka Twix.
He just went on, right?
No, I don't think that was Jeromski.
No. He did the head slide.
Did he do a
And
full round or was it just a?
There's a commando in.
Yeah, wait. We need a full Twix round.
Balance. Vero.
Yeah, but do you remember anything he did leading up to that, or was it just kind of a muddle of like different you know partial structure positions? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Twix is strong.
Yo, I don't know if you know, but Twix is strong, dude.
Yeah. Twix is really strong.
He's a strong man. Yo, he's an interesting man as well. I mean, he moves like a savage, but highly sophisticated man with a pretty diverse approach to performance, health. He's 40 years old. He's performing in Magic Mike, flipping,
Yeah.
getting it hot, nightly out there.
I mean, that's massive, man. They're talking about bringing sexy to breaking. Let's be real. I'm gonna say it.
That's real.
They're the crew that loves body rolls, bro.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And they own that shit. The conviction.
They own it. They own it. You remember the original? The original, like, I can't say it. Their routine, their infamous routine.
Yeah, I probably do. But anyway, Twix, I did an interview in the BTR podcast actually with him at a gym. I got, I was fortunate to be able to train with him, and he's talking about nutrition, talking about balance in life. Fascinating man to talk to right there. We're going to post that in the description as well, the link to that interview. Everybody should definitely watch that.
Word. All right, we are.
Let's fast
8
forward.
minutes and fast forward.
Twix didn't even go yet.
He's gonna come now. There you go. Here's Twix's round.
Okay, here's game mode. Everybody's kind of no one's sure who's winning right now. Style preference at this point, execution, they're all doing good. They're adding routines. They're responding to each other. But here's where it switches. Let's watch. This is what Twix does best. Boom. He's not overcomplicating his space-time, right? The amount of positions he's putting out in the timing. Boom. Simple. Boom.
All right. Okay. Let's end it at Twix.
Yo, and this is on a big stage too, man. Everything he just did right there. Again, he didn't throw very many positions per space time, you know, that he was out there, but impactful and highly effective, man. It read on the stage.
100. Who won that, by the way?
I'm pretty sure Massive did.
Massive, yeah.
I never watched it analytically. I watched it when it first came out for sure. I think I was a bit surprised that they won.
Really?
But yeah, then kind of, you know, understood it a little later. But it is worth noting that it is R16, and who throws R16? And John Jay, right?
Yeah.
John Jay is a part of what crew?
He was part of Circle of Fire. Yeah.
Circle of Fire, you know, the panel is made up of Circle of Fire judges as well, which is from the same city.
Yeah, Seattle. Yeah.
So, I mean, bias or not, whatever, you know, it's worth pointing out, you know, for people to draw their own conclusions. You know, we definitely need to speak about the judges when it comes to things like that. And, you know, as we are moving into a legit sport and the Olympics. But yeah, everything I mentioned, you could tell that Massive Monkey's style was closer to the original fathers of our style, and Jinjo, yeah, I mean, highly detailed, highly structured, highly disciplined with it. Yeah, a newer judge might have voted for Jinjo.
Yeah.
I thought Wing did though.
Yeah, Wing did crazy. Like he was like the star on that side for sure. He stood out. He stood out for sure.
And it is part composition. It's also a big part of execution. You know, however he trained his body to be able to have balance and control at any which moment. You can tell by the way somebody moves as a whole that they have control and they have mastered each freeze, each transition, each pattern that they're doing. Wing is definitely one of those guys.
Yeah, I agree. Wing's like the standout. 7 Commandos, Rebel BC1. I mean, you know, like the biggest thing about Wing, the biggest challenge of Wing is connecting to the music. You know what I mean? Like obviously he does up and down sets, but as far as what you said, composition and execution, man, like it's like Rockstrite, you know. Rockstrite freestyles more than him, but just purely like I barely see that guy mess up. You know what I mean? Like
who did you prefer in that battle? Let's go.
Well, being American and liking, you know, that spontaneity, like I said, just the anime face already turned me off. Yeah. that lost points for me. On the Jinjo side, the younger guys, the face dancing, like the sporadic, like that shit already turned me off.
Like they're trying to overperform, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, it's not, you know, it's not hip hop to me. It's not that vibe. It's that anime vibe. Like I could see that in One Piece.
Cool.
You know what I mean, that's not to me. I understand, you know, we're moving into the future, but that's why I don't want to see him breaking. But it's gonna happen, so I can't. I'm just gonna do this.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, what's your take on them just like owning, you know, their cultural, like what they're into and their cultural influences into the art, which is probably anime?
Yep. I'm against it.
Hey, so I'm stoked on either our next episode or the following, or in the near future, we're gonna have Renegade. We've been having a lot of dialogue with him within the chats. He tuned in and was participating in our live chat.
Yep.
A couple of episodes ago. You know, to the gearheads out there, stay posted on that. He's going to be a very interesting guest to have.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Gambit, man. We're gonna talk about the Illuminati.
Dude, why do you say Illuminati, bro? Wow, where did you get that from?
From you, man. That's what you said. You're the one who said it. I didn't say it. I was going off of you, man.
Anyway, so yeah, on that. You want to do a recap? Are you good?
Yeah, man. No, man. Just like I said, as far as the 2010s, I mean, that's where we're at right now. I mean, it's 2020, but like I said, the newest thing that came out was TikTok. TikTok was the most recent thing that's still really a big influence on how everyone communicates right now is TikTok.
Why aren't you on?
Because the demographic. I mean, I probably will get on it. I'm lazy too. Like I have to
You know what this
content
is
dump.
right here?
No.
That's me closing your case, dude.
I mean, explain. Come on, man. I'm an old guy. Explain, dude.
I mean, you have great insight, bro. I mean, like, I get what you're saying about TikTok, but I'm like, why aren't you on it? I get what you're saying about the music, but why aren't you on it, dude?
Why am I on it?
Need you,
Because
man.
I'm honestly, right at this point, I'm lazy. At this point, I'm lazy. It's a lot of content, dude. That's another. I'm still on Facebook, man. And I got YouTube too. I was on Twitch too. But I'm not on Twitch no more. But anyway. So yeah, so we saw that what you call it? 2010s is definitely big influence now, and we're gonna see with shows like this actually is a curation of the culture, try to preserve the culture, but at the same time see if these traditions can be pushed into the new millennium, right? The new wave of what's going on now, to give more insight and context, so that way these traditions aren't lost. You know what I mean? And I mean, we could talk again. That's why we cover the things that we cover here. We cover fashion. We cover actually religion in a way. We covered psychology. These are the deeper things, so that way we can move forward with looking at the past. You know what I mean? Versus like, hey, we need 10 million subscribers so we could. No, we need to educate first. You know what I'm saying?
Just need 1 million, dude. Let's not get carried away, okay? So everybody.
Okay. I'm just saying. But yeah, we're here for to like kind of, we need to catch up we're not to the present necessarily yet. There's still a lot of subjects that we even talk in backstage that we still need to cover, you know what I'm saying, before we can start talking about the future. So, before we sign out, of course, to our sponsors. And you're actually in Zen World headquarters right now, aren't you, Jay?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, Zen World headquarters. Check it out. Filming from our sponsorship.
Yeah, let's take a peek, man. Yeah, we're over here at Zen World right now. Why not? We're mobile. We're mobile.
We're at Zen World headquarters in Las Vegas.
Boom.
So you can walk in.
We keep talking about it. Yeah, you walk in. Boom, prod, topicals, everything you need. Tees. Check it out, guys. ZenWorld.com.
Yeah, man. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
15% off. Go to the website, zenworld.com. 15% off using the promo code GEARHDZ for your rest and recovery. Why not get a discount and save money while you're doing that? Shout out to the sponsor. And of course,
yep,
on IG, follow the GEARHDZ Breakcast.
Follow myself, High State Rocker, and it's not up here, but BTR Breakin.
Yeah.
Proto.
Promo. Shout out to Promo.
Promo 1.
You can follow me on Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ. You can check out the PROFOWON channel. You can check out the trades. I'm on there every Monday now. It's either going to be vlog form or live. So one or the other. And before we sign out, 65% of you, remember, are watching the content, but you might not have liked it. And please subscribe. Get us to 500. We hit 100. Get us to 500, please. We really appreciate it. Again, JASOUL, his IG. This has been GEARHDZ Breakcast episode 15, breaking in the 2010s, the social media era. Peace. And see you guys next week.